Hi everybody, Honest John again. I've said it before and I'm going to say it once again. Donald Trump is working for the Russians. Now, some of you might say, oh, this is another one of those conspiracy theories. It's not. There's a whole lot of evidence which is plainly visible to the public. First, let's take a look at what the Russians did, and then we'll take a look at what Trump has done. Now, originally the whole idea was that the Russians were just trying to harass us. They were trying to create confusion, cast doubt on the election and our election process. But they were after a lot more than that. This wasn't just a harassment campaign. It was a well-planned, large-scale, well-financed operation specifically designed to get Trump into the White House. Now, everybody knows the Russians hacked the Democratic National Committee and the Clinton campaign. What's less well known is that they also hacked the Republican National Committee and probably some of the Republican campaigns. They just didn't release anything from the RNC. And the reason why they didn't is because no Republican emerged as a threat to Trump. I'm sure if somebody had started making strides against Trump, that the Russians were fully prepared to derail their campaign. They created thousands, literally thousands of fake social media accounts, not just sowing disinformation, which they did, and spreading conspiracy theories all over the place, but they specifically targeted Bernie Sanders supporters, the left wing of the Democratic Party. They formed fake civil rights groups. And they were very successful at creating division in the Democratic Party, at convincing Democrats, for example, to cast protest votes or to stay home, to suppress the votes of minorities, and to keep the Democratic base from uniting. And while they were doing all this, they were in constant communication with people in Trump's inner circle. Paul Manafort, Jeff Sessions, Mike Flynn, Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, and dozens of other people. Constant meetings and phone calls and other kinds of communication. And the idea that all of that was going on without the knowledge and participation of Trump is absolutely ridiculous. And all of those people, including Trump, lied about those meetings and phone calls and communications with the Republicans. First denying that they happened at all, and then when they could no longer deny that, then they lied about what the meetings were about. Trump even was sitting on a plane and concocting a lie with Donald Trump Jr. About his meetings with the Russians. And all of this was done on behalf of and at the direction of Donald Trump. But what's even more damning are the actions and policies that Trump has implemented since he took office. One of the first things he did was he called in the Russian ambassador and several other Russian functionaries into the White House and gave them top secret information, which of course then made it very difficult for our intelligence agencies to get more information because their sources and methods had been exposed to the Russians, and also other intelligence agencies were less willing to supply our intelligence agencies with information because they knew that Donald Trump would pass it along to people who shouldn't have it. At one point, our intelligence agencies extracted our assets from Russia because they were afraid that Donald Trump would betray people who were spying for us. So that, of course, means that all those people that were once supplying us with information can't do that. And so we're much less able to keep track of what Russia is doing, which helps them, hurts us. Trump has also engaged in a concentrated effort to discredit and undermine our intelligence agencies. He has removed our best and most experienced officials, replacing them with hacks who lack competence and integrity. Some of the people that he has placed in charge of various aspects of our intelligence are hopelessly compromised. Trump has also undermined our most important alliances, especially NATO. I mean, he's picked fights with just about all of our most important, biggest allies. And NATO is the cornerstone of peace in Europe. And the fundamental part of that agreement is that an attack against one is an attack against all. And when we were attacked on 9/11, every one of our NATO allies committed to coming to our aid. But now Trump has sowed doubt about that. He has openly speculated that if one of our allies were attacked, that it wouldn't be in the United States' interest to come to their aid. And Putin is delighted with that. Undermining the NATO alliance is the worst possible thing he could do. It makes us weaker. It makes Russia stronger. Some of our allies in NATO are much smaller nations with smaller budgets and much smaller militaries. Trump has mischaracterized that as them ripping off the United States. He has implied that somehow this causes us to spend more money. The fact is that what other nations do has nothing to do with our military budgets. Whether those nations are allies or enemies, we decide on our own what our military budget is going to be. And right now, it's a lot bigger than what it actually needs to be. But the truth is that NATO and our other alliances serve our interests, and they make us stronger. We are a weaker nation today than we were 3 years ago, simply because Donald Trump is president. The world no longer looks to us for leadership, that's for sure. And our influence is at an all-time low because nobody believes that we will live up to our agreements. And this all serves to enhance the influence and prestige of Vladimir Putin. And in the Middle East, Trump betrayed the Kurds, our most important ally in the fight against ISIS. So we're not trusted there at all. And our troops are less safe that are still stationed there. And he did withdraw troops from Syria And the territory that we used to occupy is now controlled by Russian troops. And when Trump meets with Putin, he refuses to allow anyone else from our government to be there. Putin brings his people. Trump depends on Putin's translator. The one time he used an American translator, what did he do? He confiscated that translator's notes. And every conversation that Trump has with the Russian leader is placed in that top secret computer server. The American people, even like Congress, even our intelligence agencies, have no idea at all about what Trump is talking to Vladimir Putin about. And even Trump's coronavirus response has done huge damage to our nation, our economy, and our people. That will take a long time to repair. He has the world's top experts advising him, and Trump has always chosen to ignore the experts and to choose the path that will do the most damage to our people and our economy. So, if Trump's not working for Putin, who's he working for? He is not working for us. Hey, thanks for stopping by and watching my videos. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate your comments and your support. And I don't know where you're watching my videos. Could be here on YouTube or on my blog or on Patreon. Let me just say this. Ever since Google took over YouTube, they've made some really bad decisions that have been very unfriendly to smaller channels like me. I had over 85,000 views of my videos on YouTube, and yet they still won't let me monetize my videos. So if you want to support me, Patreon is the place. But wherever you watch, YouTube, Google, Patreon, my blog, I appreciate your comments and your support, but YouTube sucks.